Hello, Captains. This is your host, and welcome to some Star Trek Online news. This is news specifically pertaining to the game Star Trek Online. Reason why this is important is because we have the 8th anniversary of Star Trek Online right on our doorstep. Can you believe it? It has been 8 years. This game has been online and still going. Some said this game would not last. Some said it wouldn't last after the first year. Some said it would fail after the Atari sold it to Perfect World. Some said it would fail after Perfect World took over. Well, here it still stands, 8 years later. It is definitely showing its age in some areas, but it is still going, and that's what matters. This is the 8th anniversary, and what that means for us is a new featured episode to play, a new free starship to grind for, and hopefully some new content in terms of items and stuff like that. So, let's dive into the news. I am taking this straight from the Star Trek Online webpage. You can come here yourself and read this news as well. I don't have a whole lot of topics to talk about. This is mainly going to be about the 8th anniversary and a special little other thing that needs mentioning that we'll get to at the end. I'm sure you see it up there in my tabs already, but we'll get to that at the very end. Let's start with the announcement of the 8th anniversary. So here it is. It's almost time for our 8th anniversary celebration. While we'll have more details later today on the brand new episode you can experience and the brand new ship you can earn, we know you want details on how you can get involved with the party. From January 23rd to February 22nd, you can take part in our annual anniversary festivities. Here's how they work. You have the Omega Molecule Stabilization game. Q is up to his annual shenanigans. You'll be required to stabilize Omega particles found in various zones in Star Trek Online. Talk to Q to get the mission Omega Stabilization Daily, and you will be given 3 zones to visit where you must stabilize an Omega particle by playing a minigame. The minigame is simple. Omega molecules will fall in from the left in one of the 4 channels. Captains will use either the keyboard or the mouse to move the capture device onto the correct channel as the molecule hits the right-hand line. The more molecules you capture, the more Omega molecules you'll safely dissipate and the more points you will score. Q doesn't care how many points you score, just that you complete the minigame in order to receive credit for the mission. But the points do matter. The more points you score, the better chance you have at scoring better quality Omega particle remnants, which can be used with the R&D system to craft special Omega upgrade kits. Omega traces come in the 3 different colors for the Omega nodes themselves. Using the R&D system, you can combine one of each trace into an Omega silver. You can then combine 3 Omega silvers into an Omega shard, and 3 Omega shards into an Omega fragment. 3 Omega fragments can then be combined into an Omega upgrade kit. Completing the minigame will score you a single Omega trace at the very least. The better you score, the greater your chance to win Omega silver shards or even fragments. What's important here to note that it really doesn't mention very well is that playing the Omega Molecule Stabilization game is also how you earn the vouchers to get your free ship. So you play this mini game daily, once a day. It's very simple. It really doesn't take much time to do. You do that and you get the vouchers that go toward getting the free ship. You'll have to play this for many, many, many days to get the ship, because it's probably going to be, I'm going to guess, 1,000 vouchers, just like it always is. Let's read on. Party Patrol. But that's not all the problems Q is bringing to you. Once a day you can complete the mission Party Patrol and help Q round up tiny little versions of himself running around Starfleet Academy and the Klingon Academy. Catch them and they'll make you play a devious game. Win to earn great rewards like dilithium ore, reputation marks, or fleet marks. So far, nothing here is different. This is the way it's been for every anniversary event. You do the Omega Trace stabilization game for the vouchers, and you have this little Party Patrol just to earn some extra little items and stuff like that. Not really big stuff, just small stuff. I really don't find Party Patrol to be useful in my personal experience. I really don't grind it, but of course you'll want to do the one with the vouchers to get the free ship. A new party popper. Every year we do get a new one, and we've got a new one this year. It wouldn't be the anniversary without a brand new party popper to earn. Unlock the power of protomatter as a special reward for completing the Omega Molecule Specialization events. So it looks like it's going to grow grass. A party popper that grows grass. Okay, great. And some new emotes. By participating in the anniversary celebrations, you can unlock 9 brand new emotes. Wow, so there are 9 emotes. I'm definitely going to have to check those out and see what they all are. Maybe I'll make a video on that and we'll do all of them in succession and see what they all look like. So that's the basis of the anniversary event. It doesn't seem like a lot of stuff, and it really isn't. It's mainly the stabilization game, which only takes like 5 minutes to do. And then you have the party patrol, which is optional. You can choose to do that or not. You can just totally ignore it if you want to. And then you have the party popper, which is just a fun little gag gift. And then you have some new emotes to play with. But I think what people are mostly going to be interested in is the new featured episode and then the free ship. So there will be a brand new mission to play. It's called Scylla and Charybdis. After the events at Dranur, the Zenkethi have become even more aggressive. Their new campaign of bombing planets from space has become top priority for the Alliance to stop. Each of the major Alliance factions have attempted to reach out to Zenketh with no progress. In this response, a joint force is being organized to repel the Zenkethi fleet, to stop them once and for all. In Scylla and Charybdis, you will hunt down the Zenkethi fleet to end their crusade. Along with allies, old and new, you will strike at the heart of the fleet and decide the fate of the Alpha Quadrant. Join General Martok, Captains LaForge and Kumarake against the genocidal foe. Scylla and Charybdis will be released with our 8th anniversary. For a limited time, the episode will be available to all players level 10 and up. Romulan players must have selected a faction. After this, it will be in our normal mission journal progression. So I will play this on our new character, Omega, that I have started. I've been working on a new Let's Play series of the Romulan faction with a Riemann character on the tactical career. You can check out that playthrough. I will be playing this mission on that character to go ahead and get the vouchers, because I think that I probably will try to get that free ship on our Omega character as well, because this is a tactically oriented or escort type oriented ship this year. And I think that even though it's going to be, and I'll show you, a Bajoran ship, it is still a ship that I could try out on the Romulan side. It's a ship that would fit my tactical player anyway. Might not be what I end up using forever, but hey, it's a free ship. I'm going to take a free ship. So anyway, I'm looking forward to playing this new mission. That's going to be fun. So there's some new content right there, a new mission to play with new mission rewards that we don't know yet. So that should be interesting. Probably a lot of replay value, so you can play every week and get a new reward. And I'm going to guess, it doesn't say right here, but I'm going to guess that you'll get like a certain amount of vouchers for playing this mission, and then you just have to get the rest of the vouchers through the Omega stabilization. So that's probably how it's happened in the past, so that's probably how it's going to happen now. But we'll see. I mean, maybe they'll do something different, but typically that's how it goes. They haven't really said that here, but that's what I'm guessing will happen. If more news comes out right before the event, right before the 8th anniversary event, then I will publish that new news or new information. Otherwise, just check the website for updated information about that. All right, now let's look at the ship we're actually going to get this year. This is the anniversary ship. It is a Bajoran interceptor. So this is the first time in Star Trek Online that we will have a Bajoran ship, which is interesting. I don't think we saw a lot of Bajoran ships, maybe a few of them in DS9, but we really didn't see a lot of Bajoran ships in the series. And so, if I recall correctly, some of you please let me know in the comments if I'm wrong or right about this. I need to look it up. Was it not mentioned in DS9 that the Bajorans did not have warp-capable ships? That it was perhaps the Cardassians who introduced them to that altogether, because they came and oppressed the world or took over their world, and the Bajorans only had impulse-driven ships at the time. They didn't even have warp drive. However, of course, the Cardassians wouldn't care. They just saw a world that they could pillage and plunder and oppress the people. And so that's what they did. And then, of course, eventually Bajorans learned about the technology over time, and after they were liberated and all that, you know, would have developed their own warp drives and that sort of thing. But at the time, maybe DS9's time, that was just the beginning. They didn't actually have warp-driven ships. It was just impulse. Correct me if I'm wrong about that, but I seem to recall that was a thing in the series. Now, if I'm completely remembering that wrong, correct me, because I could possibly be. It just seems like that was a thing that I remember. So they mentioned something about Bajorans only having impulse-driven ships, and so we've never seen like real Bajoran ships. But I guess now, by the 25th century, they would definitely have warp drive and, you know, adopted whatever technologies they could get. So here's the ship we're getting anyway. It's a Bajoran Interceptor Tier 6. During Star Trek Online's 8th anniversary event, you will be able to obtain 8th anniversary prize vouchers by participating in the event. Okay, these 8th anniversary prize vouchers can be spent on the event reputation project to attain the Tier 6 Denorios class Bajoran Interceptor. This project requires 1,000 8th anniversary prize vouchers. So there you go, it is 1,000 as usual. 400 of these will be earned by completing the Cillian Charybdis featured episode. So there you go, it says it right there. You will immediately get 400 vouchers for free just by playing the featured episode. So it will be advantageous to play that. And here's the specs on it. Originally used exclusively in defense of the planet Bajor, this style vessel has been upgraded over the years with Federation technology. So they've integrated Federation technology into Bajoran ships. So that's interesting. See, I would have thought maybe Cardassian, but no, they went with Federation. And become useful in short-range exploration on both sides of the wormhole, aka Celestial Temple, near Bajoran space. These nimble strike ships have been slowly phased out of official Bajoran use now that Bajor is an official member of the Federation, allowing for the capable escorts to be offered to worthy captains from all corners of the galaxy. Okay, this starship features a Lieutenant Commander Tactical / Pilot Specialization Bridge Officer seat, and a Lieutenant Universal / Pilot Specialization Bridge Officer seat. So 2 pilot seats here on this thing. So this could be a really, really fast maneuverable escorty type tactical inclined ship. We've got all factions can use it. 2018 anniversary event reward project, level 40 to fly it. The hull strength is 42,800 at level 60. Shield modifier is 1. It's got 5 4-weapon slots and 2 aft. So this is going to be a very forward-firing ship. You're going to want to point all your weapons forward-firing. So that means in the aft you want to use something like turrets or 360-degree beams. That way you can maximize your forward fire potential. We've got 1 Lieutenant Commander Tactical Pilot, 1 Commander Tactical. So you've got your Commander Tactical powers, 1 Ensign Engineering, 1 Lieutenant Commander Science, and 1 Lieutenant Universal Pilot. It's got 4 tactical, 3 engineering, and 4 science. A little heavy on the science there. Interesting. So it's like a tactical science kind of ship. Base turn rate, 18 degrees per second. Impulse modifier 0.2, inertia 80. It's got plus 10 to weapon power, plus 5 to shield, and plus 5 to engine. It's got experimental weapon slot, Voice of the Prophets. Now that sounds awesome. It can equip dual cannons. It's got a universal console called the Domino. That's interesting. It's got a Starship Mastery Package, and it's using the Escort Mastery Package. So that tells you what type of ship this definitely is. Let's read about this Universal Domino console. The Denorios Offensive Matrix and Invader Neutralization Overdrive, that's a mouthful, is a complex training system used by the Bajoran Defense Ministry to heighten combat awareness in its starship crews. By overdriving select weapon systems, then cross-wiring the availability of these enhancements into a specialized sensor suite that recognizes when an enemy is defeated, combat performance may be improved temporarily and then rewarded by extended improvements. Wiring this training protocol into bridge systems allows combat-ready performance increase even if they still must be earned. This console also provides a passive boost to phaser damage and accuracy. This console may be equipped in any console slot or any starship. Okay, well I'm totally confused by what any of that means. That That was a mouthful here. That paragraph here, I'm going to have to go back and reread this. But obviously, just going into the game and using it will probably teach us the most about what that actually means. That was a mouthful, so I'm not sure what all that means. But I know this, it's got a passive boost of phaser damage, so that means you're going to want a phaser build on this ship. That way you can put all phaser tactical consoles in, plus this console also boosting phaser damage. So it's like adding an extra tactical console slot, and you'll get the most phaser damage you can get. So phaser energy is what you want with this ship. We've got the Harrying Maneuvers Starship trait because it is tier 6. Activating emergency powered engines or any pilot bridge officer ability will temporarily grant you a major increase to accuracy, along with bonuses to shield penetration and armor penetration. In addition to these bonuses, your weapons gain a chance to render the subsystem offline at random once per second. This bonus may be only granted once every several seconds. I like that. Of course, you'll have to use emergency powered engines or a pilot ability to activate it, but that's a cool bonus right there. Your accuracy rating will go way up, and your shield penetration and armor penetration also go way up. That is very beneficial, especially on an escort. You're already going to be doing a lot of damage anyway, but throw that at it and you'll really be doing a lot more damage. That sounds good. And if you can use that, remember, you can use starship traits on any starship. So put that trait on, like, for example, a cruiser and with beams or something like that, and it could still be very beneficial. Alright, we've also got the experimental weapon, Voice of the Prophets. Voice of the Prophets was originally created as mining machinery for harvesting resources from the Denorius Belt, and was later adapted into weaponry for use on Bajoran military defense starships. It generates a defense cloud of compressed particles that facilitate high-intensity pressure waves to be sent through the vacuums of space. Again, with this technobabble stuff, they are really getting deep in the technobabble here. It may be upgraded like a standard weapon, swapped out for another experimental weapon and placed in any other starship. It doesn't tell what it does. It just says it sends out high-intensity pressure waves. Well, what does that do to the enemy? I guess we're just going to have to, like, try it out to find these things out, right? Bajoran Defense Warp Cores. So it looks like we're going to have unique space set here too. This starship's reward pack also comes with the Bajor Defense Warp Core. Romulan captains also get a Bajor Defense Singularity Core. When first obtained, these items will be Mark 12, very rare. These warp cores are part of the Bajor Defense set, which may be completed by obtaining and equipping additional pieces of the set rewarded by playing these Cilia and Tribbles. So now we know what the rewards are going to be. Bajoran based. Featured episode each week. Below are additional specifics on the warp cores. You've got a hyper injection warp core. So it's a hyper injection warp core, increases maximum engine power by 5. The defense of Bajor brought about the development of this Federation warp core. Well, there's my answer to the whole warp core thing. In joint cooperation with the Allied forces who had action in the battle, this warp core emits an energy siphon field in a proximity around the vessel, which can affect multiple targets. When utilized with other equipment from the defense of Bajor, it can gain the ability to hinder enemy maneuverability and lower their resistance while providing boosts to your own maneuverability and resistances. So again, that's just something we're going to have to try and see what happens. But it sounds like there's going to be this whole space set, and this warp core is part of that set. So if you want to benefit from the entire set, you're going to want to get this anniversary ship that comes with the warp core. And of course, for Romulans, you've got the Singularity warp core. It increases engine power level by plus 5 to plus 15. The defense of Bajor brought about blah blah blah. So same thing there basically with that. So there's going to be a whole new Bajoran thing here. Is this leading into something? We've got a Bajoran ship with the anniversary. We've got a Bajoran warp core. We've got a Bajoran space set with the new featured episode that's going to be playable. And that space set can be combined with the warp core from this ship. All Bajoran based. Are we leading into a new DS9 content or something like that? That could be interesting. But anyway, they're doing a Bajoran thing. So for the first time, we've got some Bajoran stuff here. This is very interesting, and I'm excited to try it. I can't wait. This sounds like a very escorty tactical ship. Okay, moving on for the last bit of news. We have to get to this. It's here. I cannot deny it. It's in our face. This is a thing. So I want all of y'all to put on your big boy pants because this is going to be debatable right here. The Discovery lockbox. You are seeing what I'm seeing, my friend. This is the Discovery of the new Star Trek series called Discovery, that is on CBS All Access currently. Yeah, this is based on the new series that's on CBS All Access. Well, let me talk a little bit about that first before we talk about what this new box contains. Obviously, it's going to be starships, but let me talk about that first. Okay, when this game came out, it came out in the 2009-2010 time frame. At that time, if you recall, the new J.J. Abrams Star Trek reboot came out in 2009. So that first J.J. Abrams Star Trek reboot movie came out at the same time this game came out. Yet the game was and is still in the Prime universe that we all know and love. The movie, however, was not. It was a new rebooted J.J. Abrams timeline that is now called the Kelvin timeline, and that of course was totally different. Well, during that time period, and there was a lot of talk about would this game ever see those J.J. Abrams starships in this game. After all, this was based in Prime timeline, and how could that possibly include any J.J. Abrams starships? So for a long time, the answer was pretty much no. Everyone was like, this game will never get that. Never, ever. We'll never see J.J. Abrams starships in Star Trek Online. Several years later, what happened? We saw J.J. Abrams starships in this game. We had the Constitution, and we had the Vengeance. So both of the J.J. Abrams rebooted, different timeline, different universe starships are in the game. Well, that right there, my friend, opened up the floodgates. That was the gateway drug, as it were, to allowing any starship from any Star Trek universe to be in this game. That was the gateway right there. Once that came into the game, that was basically Cryptic and PWE telling us, and CBS in a way, telling us that you could see any starship from any Star Trek timeline or universe show up. And lo and behold, here we go. So first of all, I am not surprised. There is not a surprised look on my face at all. I completely expected this at this point. It was to be expected after we got J.J. Abrams starships in this game. So I am not surprised. Will this be debatable? Absolutely. So were the J.J. Trek starships. They were also debatable. Will these be debatable? Absolutely. There will be fans that love it. There will be fans that hate it. There will be non-fans that love it, non-fans that hate it, non-fans that don't care, and fans that don't care. It's going to go in all different extremes, okay? But whatever you believe and however you feel, they are in the game. However you feel about Star Trek Discovery, yes, STD, however you feel about that show, these ships are in the game, and that's a fact. So there you go. Now, are they going to be rolling these ships as if these are Prime timeline ships or a different timeline ship? I don't know. But here they are. Now, after looking at the pictures of them, and we're going to go down and read this whole article here, but after looking at the pictures of them from this page, I have to say Cryptic did a good job recreating those ships in the game. The textures look good, the models look good. They look good for a Star Trek Online game. Okay, they match what we see on the TV screen. That said, of course, it's going to be debatable just the fact that they're in the game, period. But at least they did a good job recreating them. If you do like those things, they have done a good, they've done a good job recreating those ships. So anyway, let's read on and then we'll continue to talk here. With new threats on the horizon, oftentimes new tactics and equipment are needed to give you the edge in battle, even if they're from the past. Okay, so it sounds like they're treating this as part of the prime timeline past. As part of a recent effort to ensure that secrets and discoveries are not lost to time, scientists have been working on much of the top secret technology pioneered on and around the USS Discovery. Their effort has revealed that many of these innovations can be combined with cutting-edge technology to bring powerful new tactics to forefront of any conflict in a blink. Unlike most recent lockboxes, the Discovery lockbox will reward players aligned with the Federation and Klingon factions with different starships if they win the grand prize. The Crossfield class Science Vanguard Tier 6. So these are going to be Tier 6 starships. Federation-aligned characters may find themselves fortunate enough to win the Crossfield class Science Vanguard Tier 6. While the Crossfield class was originally created to be a vessel that specialized in scientific endeavors, these starships were heavily modified in an effort to aid the war efforts that erupted between the Federation and the Klingons after the Battle of the Binary Stars in the mid-23rd century. These refits proved to be highly effective, and thus a new breed of starship, the Science Vanguard, was born. So they are treating these ships as the prime timeline past ships. The only way I can see that they're getting away with this is because of CBS. CBS holds the rights for Star Trek right now, and what they say goes. And if they say this is prime timeline, and if they say Star Trek Online can have these ships and call it prime timeline, then that's what it is. Even if you and me and everybody else agrees that Star Trek Discovery is not prime timeline. Not near prime timeline. The Crossfield Science Vanguard comes equipped with a console universal mycelium ambush. Wow, okay. When this console's power is activated, your starship's weapons will be temporarily disabled as your ship instantaneously moves forward to a destination some distance from your current position. Wow. Upon arrival at your destination, a pulse of energy is discharged, impeding the engines of nearby ships while enhancing your own starship's weapons for a brief period. After a few seconds, multiple payloads of torpedoes are released, and your starship's weapons are briefly disabled again in order to instantaneously move backwards to your original position. So it's that maneuver that the ship did. I think it was, I don't know the name of the episode, but one of the episodes, it mycelium spored, I guess we'll call it. I don't know what else to call it. It mycelium spored into, or close to a planet or asteroid or something, released a whole bunch of artillery on the planet or the ship or whatever, and myceliumed out of there. So it's that maneuver that they're recreating. Completing the Starship Mastery Path on the Crossfield class Science Vanguard grants captains access to the following starship trait: Black Alert. A temporary adjustment to the spore drive allows temporarily displaced duplicates of your ship to assail the targeted foe with torpedo spreads for a brief amount of time. Initiate this sequence by activating beam overload, cannon, rapid fire, or any intelligence bridge officer ability. Whew. Oops. Come on, stop that. There's the Klingon ship. The Sarcophagus Dreadnought Carrier, Tier 6. They're bringing that into the game. I don't even know where this ship came from. That is definitely not a prime timeline Klingon ship. And they gave no explanation in the series where this Sarcophagus Dreadnought Carrier that all of a sudden has a cloaking device that no Klingon has ever seen before. Where did it come from? It just came out of nowhere, and they've never given any explanation for this ship. That drives me crazy. That's lack of storytelling. Klingon-aligned captains that win the grand prize will find themselves rewarded with a Sarcophagus Dreadnought Carrier Tier 6. It is believed that this massive vessel dates back to the original founding of the Klingon Empire. Thousands of years ago, the heritage of this ship of the dead predates all of the modern houses and is a symbol of great honor in Klingon culture. Continuously refit over the years to remain capable of leading Klingon fleets into combat, this ship's primary strength lies in its severe resilience and unique cloaking and tractor beam technologies. Again, where did it get all that? Sarcophagus Dreadnought Carriers come equipped with a console universal multi-target tractor array. These tractor arrays were initially designed to facilitate the retrieval of fallen warriors for preparation and storage aboard the sarcophagus, but has been since weaponized to debilitate and damage foes in close-quarter ship combat. When this console's power is activated, specially mounted tractor beam arrays capable of immobilizing and debilitating nearby foes will activate over a brief period of time. A total of 12 tractor arrays will be activated by this ability, each targeting nearby foes and severely slowing them while dealing a moderate amount of kinetic damage. If any foe is caught by more than one tractor, the damage of each is increased as the tractor beams tear the unfortunate ship in opposite directions, while dragging them closer to the sarcophagus ship. Completing the Starship Mastery Path on the sarcophagus Dreadnought carrier grants captains access to the following trait, Honored Dead. In times of war, the Honored Dead will serve as your shield. As your hull is depleted in combat, the casualties you suffer will be added to the defense capabilities of your vessel. That's morbid, resulting in stacking benefits to damage resistance and passive hull regeneration. Once you reach maximum stacks of this, additional damage will be instead grant a small amount of temporary hit points. So it's basically adding dead bodies to your ship as an extra hull. That is morbid as crap. Okay. Due to this cross-faction availability, the above consoles may be equipped on any class of starship. Console pack, multi-target tractor arrays, Starship Trait Pack Honored Dead, Klingon Console Pack, multi-target tractor arrays, Starship Trait Black Alert. Last in our new Starship offerings, but certainly not least, is the Walker class Light Exploration Cruiser Tier 6. The low-buy store will see the addition of easily the most massive and powerful intelligence vessel ever offered. The Walker class represented one of the many workhorse mid-range vessels of the 23rd century Starfleet. Suited to a wide variety of missions within Federation space, it is resilient enough that even when ambushed by an armada of Klingon vessels at the Battle of the Binary Stars, the USS Shenzhou was capable of resisting destruction despite overwhelming odds. Light exploration cruisers come equipped with a console universal obfuscation screen. This unique suite of sensor screens succeeds in convincing nearby foes that your starship has been disabled, though it comes with the requirement of holding the ship in place and preventing all abilities from being activated. During this period of time, your ship's hull and shields will rapidly replenish. This mode may be disabled voluntarily at any time after a brief activation period, at which point the advantage gained from the ruse is translated into increased damage from all sources. The duration of this ambush bonus is equivalent to the amount of time your ship remained disabled, 20 seconds max. Completing the Starship Mastery Path for the Walker class grants captains access to the following starship trait, the Vulcan Hello. Another sigh moment. During early encounters with the Klingon Empire, it became apparent that only an outward show of force would earn their respect and open lines of communication with their warriors. The Vulcans were the first to adopt this tactic in a widespread manner, and this technique is named in honor of those early encounters. When entering combat, your weapons gain a shield and armor penetration bonus, and weapon power drain from energy weapon activation is reduced for a brief duration. Strike first, strike hard, it is only logical. The ability to purchase and fly the Walker-class exploration cruiser will be restricted only to Federation-aligned characters. However, Klingon-aligned captains will instead be offered the ability to purchase a light exploration cruiser package from the low-buy store, which includes both the console and starship trait unlock for a lower price than that of the starship. Complete stats and additional information on all listed starships will be contained in a separate blog. Players may also obtain a new set of genetic resequencers in order to unlock access to new ground traits. We've got Universal Law is for lackeys. While in combat, each second you gain bonus damage. You got Brutal Impetus. Nearby enemies dying increase your damage. We've got Context is for kings. While in combat, each second you gain bonus damage. We've got Duelist Fervor. Nearby enemies dying increase your damage. Scientists and engineers from our time have also managed to get their hands on a few examples of personal tech from the era. We've got Universal Kit modules. Got one called Choose Your Pain. Decreases the target's damage resistance rating. This target picks one of their nearby allies. A portion of the damage dealt to your primary target is also dealt to the foe. Parabellum. Anyone who shoots the marked target has their kit module cooldown reduced. We've got miniaturized spore relay. Teleports you a short distance forward, leaving mines behind. Rounding out the offerings of new equipment from the Discovery Lockbox will be new unique space weaponry. When opened, each special equipment pack, Discovery Disruptor or Phaser, will offer the player a choice between Disruptor or Beam weapons, Disruptor cannon weapons, Phaser Beam, or Phaser cannon. Unlike most space weapons, these space weapons come in 3 variants, each of which grants a set of passive stats to your character while equipped. Emitter-linked weapons give an increase to shield restoration and shield capacity. Integrity-linked weapons give an increase to hull regeneration and hull capacity. And sensor-linked weapons give an increase to weapon amplification and defense maneuvering. The Discovery Lockbox also features a new type of space device, Mini-Tech. Mini-Tech are consumable devices that once activated were otherwise found on ship console. This one from the Discovery Lockbox will be the Temporal Rift Stabilizer, Multidimensional Wave Function Analysis Module, Enhanced Induction Coils, Shield Destabilizer, Ablative Hazard Shielding. The Discovery Lockbox will also arrive with several additions to the Low-Buy store for those captains looking to catch up on how they dress. The outfit worn by Harry Mudd is also made available on the Low-Buy store. For those looking to pack a punch on ground, there's all-new Phaser Full Auto Rifle, DSC. This weapon features a unique primary fire that cycles through shots at increasing speed. And for the captains looking to catch up on mining for activities without an atmosphere present, there's the all-new Discovery Environmental Suit available as well. Last but not least, if you're not afraid of creepy crawlies, there's the all-new Insect Vanity Pets being added to the Low-Buy store. Okay. The Discovery Lockbox and new offerings appear in the Low-Buy store and stuff will be beginning on January 23rd. So there you go. A lot of information there, but we knew this was going to happen. I felt it coming, and it did. It happened. So again, all this is optional, so you don't have to do this. You don't have to, get these lockboxes at all and do them. You don't have to open any of them. But they are there for those that want them, and the new stuff in the Low-Buy store. Again, the only way this is possible is that CBS has allowed this, and again, CBS owns the rights to Star Trek. They are running the new series, and they give permission for Cryptic to use these things in the game Star Trek Online, and they've obviously given their permission. That pretty much makes it official. Again, I know how we all feel about Star Trek Discovery. It does not fit the Prime timeline. However, it seems it is being wedged in there as part of the Prime timeline. I just hope there's something we're missing. Somewhere down the road, they're going to trick us and say, ha, the Prime timeline you've been watching is really a mirror universe Prime timeline. After the last couple of episodes, that could certainly be true. In fact, I wonder if we'll be seeing a mirror universe expansion or lockbox next, because now we're getting back into the mirror universe with Star Trek Discovery. Wouldn't that be cool if they said all this time, well, the Prime timeline, the timeline they're actually from is actually a different kind of mirror universe, a mirror universe of the mirror universe or something. Maybe maybe right now they're in a mirror universe of the mirror universe of the JJ Trek time. I don't know. It's confusing. I just cannot get past the fact that it just doesn't seem like any of this fits with the Prime timeline we know. But I know a lot of fans are thinking that too. So we'll just have to see what happens. Okay. So what to expect for next week, the 8th anniversary? Quite simple. I'm going to cover the event when it goes live in the game. I will go in. I will play the Omega stabilization. I will play the Party Patrol. I will try out the Party Popper. We will try out the new emotes. I'll do one video, one introduction video, doing all of that and introducing the whole thing and showing you how to get your vouchers. Then I will do a new episode and we will play the new featured episode. Celia and Charybdis will play that, do a let's play on that mission and see what the rewards are. And then that will show you how to get the vouchers going toward the free ship. And then otherwise, I'll be grinding on my own to get the free ship. Once I get the free ship, I'll do a review on the free ship. So next week, you can look forward to an introduction video on the 8th anniversary and a let's play of the new featured episode. And that will pretty much cover the 8th anniversary. There's not a whole lot there. It's really just, you know, doing that daily to get the vouchers, to get the free ship, playing the featured episode. It's pretty simple. And the Discovery Lockbox, I'm probably not going to do a whole lot with. Again, it takes a lot of resources to open those, you know, master keys and all that, and I don't have that. I may open a couple just to see what happens or see, but I typically have very bad luck at winning a ship. But I'm probably not going to do a whole lot with that lockbox because it just takes a lot of resources, and I don't want to use those resources up. So that's pretty much it for now, unless I just come up with a lot of low buy once sometime in the future or whatever, and I have the ability to get those things. And of course I'll review them if I do get those things, but right now in the immediate future I'm not looking at doing a whole lot with that. But I will just be doing the 8th anniversary stuff and then continuing the Let's Play series on Omega. I hope you guys check out that Let's Play series. It's a lot of fun, and I'm going to play the whole game from start to finish. And I will incorporate the anniversary stuff into that as well when that comes out. So that should be a lot of fun. As always, thank you all for watching, and stay tuned for the next one.